Hey everyone, happy holidays, and Prancer is one of my favorite holiday films, and it has an extremely talented cast. You got Rebecca Harrell-Tickle, Sam Elliott, the late Cloris Leachman, and Ariana Richards, which most may recognize her from Jurassic Park and Angus, another underrated comedy. Growing up, this movie always meant a lot to me, and I can never quite put my finger on it, but now we're going to talk about why.
You have added inspiration to my day, young lady.
Prancer, a Christmas adventure for the whole family.
Released in 1989, directed by John D. Hancock. Prancer follows the story of a young girl who befriends a wounded animal, and it just so happens to be one of Santa's reindeer. And this could have been a very simple story for kids, paint by numbers, with no depth to it, but, it's everything but that, and that's why I appreciate it so much. As any Christmas film should be, it's very family-oriented, and it's done in an authentic way where they don't get along really. There's a lot of awkward silences between the father and the daughter since their mother and wife had passed. Oscar nominee Sam Elliott, who gives realism to his character, reminds me a lot of my own dad at the time because we were never really close. We'd be just sitting around with nothing to say really. The family displayed here always struggled to put a warm meal on the table. It's very relatable and realistic in that regard. And you don't see that usually in family films like this. All these situations within the family is very drama heavy. When the reindeer comes in, it has a decent balance, of make-believe and what's real. Even in the real world, miracles known to happen this time of year. I think it makes for a, great story. And by the end of the film, the father opens up to his daughter an affection from him that she hasn't had and what she's wanted since the passing of her mother. It's very heartwarming and it will make you cry. And in that moment, particularly, it always made me appreciate my dad, and even though we didn't always see eye to eye and he wasn't always sober, he was there for me in a lot of times. Sam Elliott's character cared a lot more than he let on, same with my dad. He wasn't particularly good at showing it. This film is pretty heavy and mature for a family film, quite emotional. It's just relatable and realistic, even though the reindeer aspect of it really isn't, but you gotta have some kind of magic in your Christmas movie. It really has some grounded undertones and some playful comedic moments as well. It's a lot of fun and a lot of different emotions build up throughout this film. Even now, cherish it just as much as an adult as I did when I was a kid. This goes without saying, I definitely recommend you check it out or even give it another chance, because there's a lot that may have went over your head as a kid that you look at now and you're like, this is pretty powerful. Jessica's secret to care for Prancer brings the town and her father closer together. That's what this film is about, is second chances. So I do think you should give this film a second chance and enjoy. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.